Okay. Can we see them? All right, so welcome everyone. My name is Gan Mahablil. I'm a senior negotiator covering mitigation with the COP28 incoming presidency. It's nice to have you here today and in Abu Dhabi. So welcome. I'll introduce my colleague Ken.
This is Kenichi from the University Secretariat. Thank you very much for joining this session. So we will start with resource efficiency and energy efficiency session. Thank you.
And we also have two experts joining us online, Johan Falk from Exponential Roadmap Initiative and Carla Barron, a research associate at CCG at the University of Cambridge. Would you like to introduce yourselves? Johan, Carla, can you hear us? Are the virtual participants in? There we go. Johan, can you hear me?
There is a problem with the voice quality on this side.
Let's try again. Can you hear me now? Can you hear us, Johan? All right, let's try again. Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you, but can you hear us?
It even feels frozen.
Can you hear me, Carla?
I can hear you. Yes, Jan.
Okay.
Can you hear us, though?
Seems to work now, if you can try again.
All right, please go ahead and introduce yourselves. Let's start with Johan.
I'm Johan Falk, heading up and the co-founder of the Exponential Roadmap Initiative.
Carla.
Yes, I am Carla Cervantes Varón, and I'm a research associate at the University of Cambridge.
All right, thank you. So in this session, we're going to talk about energy and resource efficiency in the transport sector. I'm going to go over the guiding questions and open the floor to any interventions from parties. So if you want to take the floor, just flip your flag and the camera will be directed to you. And there's going to be floating mics around. Where are the floating mics? Mics? So there's going to be one here. Is there going to be another one on the other side? We'll work with one. All right, so the guiding questions. What are the opportunities, best practices, and actionable solutions for just energy transition in the transport sector to urgently scale up mitigation ambition and implementation in this critical decade in each of the respective subtopics: collective and non-motorized modes of transport, energy and resource efficiency, electrification of vehicles, low or zero carbon fuels. What are the effective policies and measures implemented from a global perspective and country-specific experiences for each of the respective subtopics? How are financial, technological, and capacity building needs addressed for each of the respective subtopics? How are the issues of international cooperation, including with non-party stakeholders, and provision of support to developing countries addressed? And finally, how is sustainable development promoted, and what are the socioeconomic effects under each of the respective subtopics? So we're going to be focusing on energy and resource efficiency. We can now open the floor. Pakistan.
Thank you. The first thing is the electric vehicle. Though it's very attractive and the whole world is going toward the electric vehicle, but there are some problems with the electrification of these vehicles. The problem, especially in the developing country, is about the two-wheeler and three-wheelers. We are not yet to the cars and to the heavy vehicles. But there are problems even in the two and three-wheelers. And these problem ranges from the price. I mean, if a simple two-wheeler is costing you $1,500 in my country, if you go for the electric vehicle, it will go to $5,000. So there's a price, though there's a payback period of around 2 years, but the issue is the initial cost. And then more interesting is that no bank is going to lease these sort of the vehicle. I don't know that the banks have their own policies and maybe there are some issues, but the issue is there. The second one is the charging infrastructure. The role of the battery is also very important vis-a-vis this charging infrastructure. If you have a battery of high quality like the lithium, then probably you can charge your vehicle at your home. But if the simple battery like the lead battery, etc., the liquid battery is there, then you need a charging station or a swapping center. Since the running on this battery is not more than 100 kilometers, so you need a number of charging station, charging infrastructure and station in the city even. Again, the battery specification. If we are going for the swapping of the battery, then the specification, there are many kinds of the battery with various specifications. So you need to have to standardize the specification of those battery for the swapping center to be effective. Again, you know, the phasing out of the existing or the replacement or the retrofitting, whatever you may call it, it's also like in Pakistan, we have 26 million 2-3-wheelers. So, I mean, retiring these 26 million or replacing them or, you know, retrofitting with the batteries, I mean, uphill task and need a lot of finances. And then the load carrying capacity. I mean, for the simple battery of this liquid battery, the load, I mean, they cannot take much of the load. In developing countries and underdeveloping countries, these 3-wheelers specifically are used for the load carrying within the city, which is not possible if there's a simple battery. Maybe the lithium battery can work, but the simple battery can't. So these are some of the issues with regard to this electrification. Though we want to go about this electrification of initially of 2-3-wheelers, and we are producing around 20,000 motorcycle, 2 or 3 vehicles per annum now, and we are going to enhance the production. But still, there are a number of issues. The problem is of the existing lot which we have. Thank you.
Thank you, Pakistan. Any virtual interventions? Please go ahead, Carla.
Thanks a lot. I am happy that Pakistan brought up these issues. They're, of course, very important and a part of what I was hinting at in the presentation about the different countries considering different solutions. And of course, these solutions need to be implemented as policies are different and financing mechanisms are different. So as an example, for the 2- and 3-wheeler issue on cost, I know that there's a company in India, in this case, called Repfin, which has managed to create a leasing model where it's available for people to then access these 2- and 3-wheelers. So actually probably sharing these practices among countries would be really useful.
Thank you, Carla. Johan?
Yep. Yeah, just to add on to that, I wonder if there is any particular program where there is an opportunity, maybe that already exists between leading countries and cities who are actually working on exactly the same challenge. So if you could bring together like 10 to 20 leading cities and together with also some financial institutions and create that group in the front line, because there are a number of problems that you raised, and I think that type of radical collaboration could be very interesting, and to address these topics together. Does that exist today, or so that's maybe a question back to Pakistan in that case.
Thank you, Johan. China?
Thank you, colleagues, and we do value the pressures and limited time during the 3 days for us to have a highly efficient experience and view exchanges. We hope our discussion will focus on technical aspects, on opportunities, best practice, actionable solutions, challenges, and barriers regarding energy transition in transport sector. Keeping in mind that our work and efforts under the global dialogue of MWP must follow the principles of equity and CBDRC and paragraph 2 of MWP. And our task here is to facilitate the governments and other stakeholders to promote actionable actions through their respective NDCs and policies by learning experience and best practices from each other, not by setting top-down prescriptive global sectoral targets or goals, or simply reiterate the modeled scenarios. We need to highlight the role of this platform to tackle these challenges and barriers in the real world through communications and cooperation. And regarding the low-carbon transformation of transport system, it's not only a key area in the global response to climate change, but also an important part of the improvement of people's livelihood in developing countries. In many developed countries, the share of GHG emissions from transport sector in total emission is high, reaching 20% or more, well above the level of most developing countries. Developing countries need a larger development space in future in transportation comparing with developed countries. For example, car ownership level in developing countries are still quite lower than developed countries. At present, is there a huge gap for the vast number of developing countries in corresponding finance, technology, and capacity building, low-carbon technology, regarding low-carbon technologies, new fuels, transport infrastructure, construction. It will help to achieve low-carbon transformation of transport systems, as well as achieve multiple synergies to provide financial and technical support to developing countries. So we must recognize the countries differ in their stages of development, spatial layout, resource endowments, and response capabilities, and it is not realistic nor effective to set one-size-fits-all quantitative targets. And regarding the subtopic of energy and resources efficiencies, we think is very important for developing countries because such solutions are quite mature in the to promote the transportation system transition to low and carbon emissions. And we would like to take this opportunity to share some experience from China. So first, in terms of transport efficiency improvement, we have vigorously promoted the effective integration of intelligent transportation and green transportation, supported the development of network freight transport platforms and comprehensive travel information platforms on a standardized scale and in an intensive manner, and made use of information technology, the Internet of Things, big data, and automation technology to improve transport information in efficiency and reduce the rate of transport idling and empty loads. Secondly, in the area of energy efficiency enhancement, we have taken the enhancement of the energy efficiency utilization level of transportation equipment as a basis for continuously improving and upgrading the energy efficiency standards for vehicles and ships, formulating the requirements for energy efficiency design indexes for newly built ships and starting their incorporation into the technical regulation for ships. We have accelerated the elimination of outdated technologies and high consumption and inefficient operating vehicles and vessels, and encouraged and guided high energy consumption vessels to undergo energy-saving technological transformation and upgrading, promote energy-efficient driving, energy-efficient navigation, and energy-efficient operation. We attach importance to the integrated development of transportation and energy and encourage the promotion of the